This afternoon we have a longtime friend of the library and personal friend of mine. She's a library advocate and trustee on the library board of trustees, Joan Milliboy. Joan, please fill us in on your tenure, on the library board of trustees, and also your feeling about this library in general.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to think of when I first became a trustee, and I think it was in the year 1995 at the old library. And I liked that old library. The charm of the outside and the inside was very, very lovely. But then we were on a mission to find a new library, or build a new library, which eventually we did in the year 2003. And my thoughts at that time were, how is this going to work? Will it be as charming and comfortable as the old library? And I know that Kathy Steffens, as our director, would make it that way. But needless to say, we did build a new library, and on that first day in January, we had a beautiful gathering that day. Was it a nice day? I think it was a nice day.
No, it was a rainy day.
Oh, it was a rainy day.
So
It was
we
a rainy
gathered
day.
around the
And-
circ desk.
In fact, if you remember, when we first did that shovel into the dirt, that
Yes.
in front of the building, that wasn't a very nice day either, and that
The
was a very
groundbreaking.
cold day. Yes, the
Mhm.
groundbreaking. Anyway, so on that day, I happened to have this little speech that I wrote at that time, and it was about how we're always wishing for something. And one of the wishes we said was, well, people always say wishful thinking. And then I'm thinking of Disney, which I know both Kathy and I and both our families love Disney, and they have a special song called A Wish is a Dream Your Heart Makes. Well, today I thought on that day, back in January 2003, that was proof that wishes do come true. Our library at that time thought would be reference reading or references. The services would be a result of the people that were interests of the people who have built and worked in the library. And the library, I think now today, does reflect their interests, their skills, their expertise, which will develop the effectiveness of education and businesses, because it's business resource more so too. Our world then, I think, was technology was around, but I think now with this new library, we thought that maybe technology and education would be the theme in all libraries. At that time, our library was providing this, but now this new library would provide internet users, both students and adults, as it develops technology, which includes digital reference services. We thought this would be a model for the area, for Hudson County, and to have growth in our community, that people would enjoy this library, to serve, to teach, to build, to share with everyone in the community, and help the children to interact with people in the community, with people in the world. And then I ended with this saying, yes, wishes do come true, and our final wish is that everyone would enjoy it. And I think today they do.
I think they do. I think you accomplished everything that you wanted. Do you have any regrets on our library? I mean, let's really be honest.
I'm trying to be honest, and the only thing that I do remember way back then was, from the Panasonic room, there's a roof. And we thought that we would be able to go outside to that roof and make it like a little patio type of a deal. And eat and enjoy it during the day, during the evening, and when there were fireworks, 4th of July, different times of the year, and sit out there and enjoy the view. That didn't happen. It was promised a few times, but it never happened. So that maybe would be a regret. Other than that, I don't think so.
You're,
I don't think so.
you're happy.
I'm very happy.
Yes, I wish we had that patio too.
And not only that, I'm very proud of it. When I have relatives and friends that come, did you see the library? Did you go there and check it out? And I'm very proud of it. I'm very happy with it.
You put an awful lot of effort into it. What was it like to be on the decorating committee? We know what it's like to decorate for our home, but what about 20,000 residents?
It was a chore, but a happy chore, and we just loved it. And Kathy and I think we were there almost every day. looking somewhere, looking for rugs, how do we get the carpeting together? I think this carpeting here was a combination of 3 or 4 different types of carpeting.
Yes, it
Wasn't
was.
it?
Yes, it was.
And the furniture, of course. I'm thinking, where did we go for the furniture? What was the
We had
we
Pat Cassell, remember?
Yes, okay.
Pat. Well, there were different companies for different furniture. She did the soft seating, such as we're sitting in now, and then there was a company for the hard seating with the desks and chairs that went that way.
And going to Fortune Norths and going to other different stores, which I don't think Fortune Norths exists anymore, for paintings and sculptures. And I remember going to South Carolina and going to this gallery. And maybe this is a regret.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted so badly to have Mark Twain on a chair and a bench, a giant sculpture outside of the building before you walk into the front doors, and people can sit there and take photos. That didn't happen. But we did get an Indian head in the children's room and a few other sculptures. But that I thought would have been a nice idea.
There were so many ideas that were nice, but then reality started to set in, and of course we had financial constraints. Had we known the end number when we were working in the beginning, we might have made some decisions, but we had to work with the governing body, and it was like being married. You got told, no, you can't have that today, maybe
Well,
in the future.
Working on the library, it's a funny thing you brought to mind with that gallery, that it brought me to other libraries in South Carolina, in New Jersey. We went to Ridgewood, we went to many places, and I got to see other libraries and compare to ours. So that was an interesting part of the entire process too.
I think that this library was a culmination of all of those visits we made
I think so.
across the state. There was one other person with us, that was Pat Santori, and the 3 of us would go talk to staffs, find out what they liked and didn't. And when I look at this, I see a little bit of this library and a little bit of that, a little bit of our own ideas to set it aside. But I'm happy with what the results were. But it was an experience.
It
and
was an experience.
It was nerve-wracking.
Well, to try to get what you wanted from the powers of beyond our capabilities, that we really had a little bit to say, but they had the authority to say yes or no.
Right, well, we
So
were simply the decorating
That's all
committee.
we were.
But it was nice. I mean, we were able to decide where the desk should be, how high it should be. We brought the staff in to sit in chairs, and it was a great event. You chaired that decorating committee, and it was a joy to work with you. Let's do it again.
Thank you. Yes.
Let's do it again. What are you most proud of, though? What area of the library are you most proud of? Are you saying, wow, we did a great job there, I'm really satisfied? I know you like this little room.
Well, this is my room.
Okay, tell us about your room.
Well, when we had the room built, I said, oh, I love this little cozy room. Let's decorate it nicely. And we did, with the tables and the couch and the books that we have in here. And it's just a cozy little room that I said I could just come here anytime and just relax and think and read, or maybe just do nothing and just contemplate. And I do regret that they didn't name the room after me. I think they should have.
I'm sure if you would have donated about $25,000,
I didn't have that much
we
of the
might
time.
consider it. But before we started filming, we mentioned that Fred noticed that some of the walls looked like they could use a little artwork. So I think as a trustee, you have your work set for you.
I think we do, and as special projects, I think that should be on my agenda.
I think so too.
Absolutely.
Since next year is our 80th anniversary. What do you think about that? What would you like to, some thoughts that you would like to say from Joan Milliboy, trustee for all these years now. I think you're the senior.
I'm the senior member, 20 years.
The senior member, so they turn to you for words of wisdom.
Oh,
Please leave us with words of wisdom.
words of wisdom would be, well, we would hope that we have at least another 80 more years of being actually one of the main, what's the word I'm looking for? The main gathering place
Mm-hmm.
of the community, I just a thought popped into my mind of Pat Preston.
Yes.
He was a trustee for the longest time, and I just remember him saying, "You know what, Joan? I always came to the library to read my newspapers, and I just enjoyed so much in the reading room reading my newspaper."
Right.
For some reason, that just popped into my head.
Right.
Just that we would continue, and I'm sure we will develop technologies and what's to be in the future. It's so hard to think of it at this point. You were saying, what am I most proud of? I think with the computers and the computer room and the lessons, how we incorporated lessons into the community, and whoever needed help with whatever their problems were, or just to come in and those are the words, just to come in and see what they could do. I mean, a group of mine came in because we wanted to learn Italian, and we just went on there, and Jennifer May, the director, was so wonderful in saying, well, just go onto this, boom, 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 and type it in, and that's it. And we're learning how to speak Italian. So I think that's an asset to our community. I don't know what else.
It's good. Anything that brings anybody
I'm trying to
in
think,
here.
yeah.
And I think, if I think of just the time that you've been on the board, all of the children that are now grown, already, they're here. Some of them are working here. Some of them are married. Some of them have thoughts of families, and they'll be bringing their children. So it's quite a legacy to have been a trustee. And you mentioned one, Pat Presser. I'll mention Arthur Harrison and Ben Mastronardi, because they were the
right.
original building committee. And two of them, Mr. Mastronardi and Mr. Harrison, didn't make the opening, nor did former director Margaret Grazioli. But I think they're watching over you.
I think so.
And they're guiding you, and they're telling you to keep that spirit alive, which you did. You kept everybody involved. You had school teachers involved, and students, and so we appreciate your help. And you were a very, very important part of our system, but I think your time right now is more important as you serve on the board. The building is done, it's up, it's done. It's your job to keep it relevant and keep the spirit going. So we thank you.
Thank you. It
And
was
give
my
us some
pleasure.
anniversary wishes now. She thought she was
An
done.
anniversary wish. A wish is a dream your heart makes, as Disney said, and I will leave it with that. Let's just wish that we continue to be prosperous and to be a part of the community that everyone will enjoy.
Thank you very, very much for adding to this history.